At the upcoming meeting, we're going to identify the goals and timelines for both the standalone and non-standalone architecture. The contentious points, if there are any, will be on the contents of the release and the timing. We also have to make sure that we are able to move ahead with what we call forward compatibility, and that the non-standalone and standalone systems are compatible.
The standards process is seen as being slow. Okay, and I don't know, at ETSIAR, we need to focus on actually how we actually speed the standardization process. It's crucial. And secondly, we shouldn't let standards creep into areas where it's not essential. Okay, we should actually only focus on those areas where it's really essential for us to enable that interworking and to develop that ecosystem where you end up with cheap devices and you can work between operators.
3GPP current plan is to have 2 phases. The first phase, which will enable sufficient functionality for those who want to deploy early, looking around the 2018 timeframe, that's release 15, and then for those who want to deploy in the 2020 timeframe, there will be a second phase. But I should point out that on Monday this week, a number of operators have put forward a proposal that we should do what Paul says and try and actually be faster to market with our standards. So, there is now a discussion that will take place next week within 3GPP to see whether we cannot even bring that forward by several months.
It's important to us that we continue to meet our users' expectations of the network, and we see that step to some of the 5G technology as being crucial, not just for the consumer and the retail end, but also to support the other use cases that we talk about in 5G. And we're seeing a real need emerging for example, low latency services in connected cars, for example. We're seeing also a real need for expansion of IoT, with particularly sensor networks, with smart cities and other applications. And we want to ensure that those are driven forward. It's a real difficult balancing act in 3GPP to drive the standards quickly, but ensure that the vital components that are needed by operators don't accidentally get dropped out.
The concern that we have, and the reason why we didn't support this acceleration even faster than today, is that there are some technical points that require deeper discussions at some levels, and we think that the current progress in 3GPP is too much in a hurry in order to take appropriate decisions for the future in important points like network slicing, architecture, going beyond enhanced mobile broadband, but preparing the network from day one for more advanced services, more advanced use cases, ultra reliable, the decision of waveforms. There are many points which require, I think, deeper discussions, and accelerating even faster the standards, we think it's not the best idea.
The plenary meetings where the project's highest technical groups get together to set the master plan for the next 3 months. And that's where this proposal will be discussed. And I guess there'll be some long evening sessions before finally at the end of the week we decide whether to stick with the existing timeline or whether we take the proposal to try and accelerate. And of course there's always a trade-off between time, quality and cost. So it's a matter of whether that acceleration has merit that's worthwhile or not. And it will be for industry next week to decide on the merits of both options. And it's industry-led, so at the end of the week industry will have decided what the timeline is for 5G, whether it should be accelerated or not.